The Romans had a saying, si vis pacem, para bellum. If you want peace, prepare for war.
One word to describe your line of work.
One word. That's a lot. Just one word? Adventure. It's adventure, man.
Flip him over. Turn him over.
There are people who run from the law, from the truth, from the damage they leave behind. And then there are people sent to find them. No applause, no headlines, no clean ending. Just long nights, empty roads, locked doors, and the weight of knowing what some people are capable of. This job doesn't just test your courage, it tests your mind. Because when you spend your life chasing other people's demons, eventually, you have to face your own.
Didn't really have a purpose, you know? I was kind of itching for something a little bit more meaningful, you know? I think that's when I realized.
Fugitive is not just a story about bounty hunting. It's a story about isolation, addiction, purpose, and the cost of bringing people back when part of you is still trying to come home too.
Catch these guys and put them back where they belong, you know. This is Fugitive Bounty Hunter documentary. I'd probably say it's a thankless job. Definitely a thankless job. I think the biggest one is right when I got out the military, you know. Did 8 years as an 11 Bravo. Loved serving my country, and I wanted to kind of continue to serve, but in my own way once I got out. So it kind of like gave me that purpose again, you know. I think a lot of veterans, they deal with that redefining purpose, and for me, bounty hunting was like one of those outlets, you know. I think that was something like when I got out, man, kind of didn't really have a purpose, you know. I was kind of itching for something a little bit more meaningful, you know. I didn't want to work like in an office, or like didn't want to work like mopping floors or anything like that. And I think this thing gave me like some true purpose, kind of that sort of thing, you know. I think like definitely with something like this, you not a lot of people like hunt bad guys, you know. A lot of cops hunt bad guys, you know, federal agents, that sort of thing. So being on like the private sector, you wouldn't expect that, right? You wouldn't expect like, hey, I'm gonna go catch like a human trafficker, you know, during the daytime or something like that. and not be part of a like legitimate law enforcement agency. And for me, that's always been like a dream for me, right? To like fight for those who can't fight for themselves, kind of catch these guys and put them back where they belong, you know? I think that's when I realized, you know. The human trafficking case we got down somewhere in LA, you know. Long story short, guy was human trafficking like 14-year-olds, you know, just all up down LA. And we got the call that, hey, like this guy, he's on contract, we need to get him, you know. And it was like, for me, it hits home because a lot of the human trafficking now, it's pretty big. It's always been big, you know. It's a worldwide problem. And I think, like when we got that mission, it was like, all right, like at least I'm doing something like heavy. It's really heavy. This is a 14-year-old, you know. It's someone's daughter. And with that, it was definitely meaningful to me, you know. Like, hey, let's go get this. I'm excited to get this guy. Like, I want to get this guy behind bars, you know. Kind of end that little cell of human trafficking, if I could, you know.
The stakeouts are in position. A recon crew is out in the panel truck making a cover and escape route survey with a 60-second camera. They should be coming in any minute.
Use maps, photographs, and diagrams showing possible escape routes, cover, and weapons needed. When you're sure every man knows his assignment, you're ready.
Eyeball 1 to dugout.
This is dugout.
This is eyeball 1. The view is fine and the kids are still in school. Over.
10-3, eyeball 1. Stay with it. Some people who've seen the kids recently are sure we have the right ones. Eyeball 2.
10-3, dugout. I read you loud and clear. Got a good view of the schoolyard here. If anybody tries to play hooky, we're in good position. Over.
10-3.
All right, I'll tell you guys when. Copy.
So with this, we get the contract. Once we get the contract, we get word like, hey, this so-and-so is on...
And who gives you the contract?
The bail bonds companies, yeah. So those bail bonds companies, they'll give us the contract. And then with that, we'll start to work our way up through the file. So essentially we'll get a first, last name, you know, last known location, and then kind of work our way up there. So a lot of it, the planning, the action, all that stuff, it's tedious, man. Sometimes you'll spend like, sometimes a day, sometimes weeks or months just trying to track someone down. You know, a lot of the whole tracking process is either human intelligence or human. So you're interviewing people, you're doing surveillance, right? So for this particular one, kind of knew his pattern, knew where this person hung out at. This person hung out at certain hotels or motels. We're tracking this individual for probably 3 days or so. Got a hit, you know. I don't want to say too much detail, kind of protect our trade craft, right? And protect the guys downrange, so I kind of want to keep that OPSEC.
Walk towards the pier. Copy.
did our due diligence, located him at a certain motel, and then we set up the plan. It was right off the spot. The plan wasn't like, hey, we're doing this mission like 3 days from now. It was like, oh no, we found him. Like, what are we doing? What do we do now? So pull up the maps, like, hey, this is this individual's car. Set up the perimeter. At the time, we had a 2-man team. So it was a 2-man team on this one. This one was a little funny, man, because I feel like we were understaffed, you know. But we were always understaffed. We're not like major departments where we have like so many resources, so many like agents to kind of hammer this down, you know. So this was a 2-man team. We got there like probably 06, you know, set up, saw the individual's car. Individual walks out of the motel, and we fail. We try to apprehend him. He gets away, man. He's fast, dude. Freaking track star runner, dude. Straight up jumps over some fence. Try to track him through the alley, and me and my partner, man, we're like, shit, what the fuck? This guy's fucking fast as fuck. He probably played in like D1 football or something, you know, like in Olympics or some shit, you know. So we failed on that part, trying to get him back into custody.
Keep it moving. Don't try any damn moves either. You all right?
Eventually, we kind of pulled back and then kind of get back to the rally point, kind of get a good game plan going, you know. I can't disclose how we got him later on, but we did catch him and locate him. With that, we found him at another compound. And this time we had like 8 guys. Eight guys just rolling through, and we hit. It's hilarious. Like sometimes in the movies, right, in Hollywood, they depict us as so serious, right? We're so like emotionless, right? Not really, man. The way we pulled up to the compound, we had like bird scooters. We pulled up on bird scooters. So we legit, I think it was all 8 of us had bird scooters riding to this compound because we didn't want to get seen, yeah. We didn't want to get seen, so we parked off down away from this compound, and we had like 8 bird scooters riding through this street down in LA. And it's the funniest thing because we're all tacked up. We're all tacked up, you know. We got the vest here, all of that, you know, head to toe, and we're riding bird scooters. Not even like a car or anything, just bird scooters, right? So we verified this guy's here, right? He's on the first floor of the compound. Once we do that, we stack up on this door. And, you know, every time I hit a door, it's like, shit, this could be like my last rodeo, you know? Get shot in the face, fucking catch one to carotid. You know, like my buddy, or I wouldn't say buddy, but more of a mentor, you know, big in the industry. He passed away doing a compound hit, you know, called carotid. He horse kicked the door through an apartment, and his foot got stuck. shot to the carotid, man, and it kind of wakes you up. It's like, hey, we're not, again, like I said on the last one, we're not bulletproof, you know. But like any day could be our day, right? So I think accepting that, right? Accepting that fear of, hey, like, yeah, I might die, but I'm gonna die doing something good. I think that's what it is. I'm gonna die well, right? I'm gonna die well. So stack up on this door, right? I'm 8-man deep, 8-man team deep. Then give the signal. All right. And once we breach that door, boom, guy's sleeping. You know, he's drugged out already. All that. Once we clear that house or that compound, yeah, he was fighting for a little bit, but we got him. Finally got our guy, rushed him out. You know, tagged and bagged and back to IRC. You know. So yeah, it was one of those stories. Yeah, that felt meaningful for me, again, because the human trafficking portion of it, right? Like some of these girls don't want to be there. I get like there's some people that enjoy that type of work. There's that majority of them are like enslaved into that, and I think that was more meaningful to me than I think other missions have done. You know, and I had this bravado. You know, I had this sense of pride, and like, hey, like I did some good shit. You know, I did some good fucking shit, helping these people out. You do a lot of sacrifices, miss out on family time, and sometimes that emotion gets heavy. I think that's one of the biggest things. But it's pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. Pretty fun hunting bad guys, you know? I think that's the biggest one. But, you know, like, it does come at a price, right? Doing that sort of thing. Like, the alcoholism. I think that's a big one, you know? You know, when I first started, I was drinking a lot, man. Trying to numb these feelings down. When I first started, right? I think it was because sometimes some of the missions is like, it takes a toll, because you start to realize, like, yeah, like, some of these bad guys, they made bad decisions. They're not entirely bad guys, right? And I was trying to accept, like, hey, this is part of the job, right? And a lot of the drinking, like, I would get off of, you know, hunting and drink until like 2, 3 a.m. Do that for 6 days, 5 days, just binge, you know. But I would still be operational. I sought help after that. Talked to talked to a therapist about that stuff, you know. And they were saying like it was a way of coping, a coping mechanism, right? I think mainly it was that and dealing with the loneliness. And if you're okay with that, if you're okay carrying that burden, you'll do well. If you're not, then, you know, I don't think this job is for you, you know. And that's not just bounty hunting, that's law enforcement, that's federal agents, that's military guys, right? I think the community in itself, we do suffer from some substance abuse, mainly alcohol. And you just gotta seek that help. Because if you don't, man, like eventually, like it will turn that gun on you, you know? And that's no good for your family, right? So, kind of did it not just for myself, but for the fam, you know? Imagine seeing like your father or mother and they're over your grave and they're like, hey, what do we do to, you know, prevent this? And it's like, they can't really do much because it's the burden that you carry, you know? But I accepted it to the point where it's like, it's alright, you know? Like, not everyone is out here doing this type of work, right? Like, you chose to be here, you know? You choose where to lay your bed type of thing, right? You make your own bed, and you gotta lay in it, so. And I'm okay with that. Because at the end of the day, I know I'm trying to do the right thing, you know? Again, dying well, right? How can I die well? I think that's kind of what pushed me forward, as far as that goes. Right, it's the biggest psychology or what pushes me through is the faith, right? Kind of like for me, I lean heavily on the faith. Um, you know, there's some times where it's like man, like maybe I won't make it, right? Maybe yeah, this is my last day type thing. But the psychology of it is I wouldn't say it's like psychology. Maybe it's like a code of ethics or like mindset. But it's like, hey, you're there to do a job. Let's fucking catch this bad guy. Let's catch this dude that has done some evil to people who probably couldn't even stand up for themselves, right? I think back to it like, you know, in elementary school, there's those bullies, right? They're out on the playground, right? Roaming around free because they're unchallenged. Yeah, no one's stronger than them, right? That's what I remember, right? I remember those big old bullies doing whatever they could, right? And I think about that, and it's like, the concept is still there. It's just who's going to stand up to it, right? do you be the feeder and kind of work your way through it or stand up against it, right? So for me, it was like, if there's a bad guy out there, I think of him as like, hey, they're one of those bullies, dude. Yeah, they might have their own circumstances and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, like, you did something wrong and no one's gonna stand up to you, like, we will stand up to you, right? And I think that's for all warriors, you know, like, going back to the code of Bushido, that sort of thing, is like, your duty, right? Your duty, what is your purpose, right? For me, my purpose is to catch these dudes and put them back to where they belong, right? So kind of like I would explain to it as a hunting dog, right? You have a dog. He's all he thinks about is that target, that prey, right? And that's kind of how I think of it. Like you're smelling that sense of blood right there, and you're just like, you're going through whatever it takes just to catch this thing, you know. You know, the hunting dog is not just, he's not like there just to be like this bad dude, right? He's there catching the wolves, right? And I always think about, you know, Lieutenant Cooper, all that stuff. I think that's who it came from. The sheepdog, the sheep, and the wolves. It's kind of like that. It's like, who do you choose to be, like sheepdog or wolf, you know? And like for me, every day I try to be that sheepdog, kind of, you know, protect those who can't protect themselves. You know, I feel like for me, I'm more of a, not law enforcement, right? I feel like I'm more as a catalyst. I'm more of a catalyst. Like I'm more something that helps out law enforcement, but I'm not legitimate. Like, hey, I'm not gonna get you for tinted windows, right? I'm a little bit more focused, right? A little bit more, I would say, and not to bag on law enforcement, but a little bit more specialized, right? Compared to like the patrol officer, right? So we're doing like undercover surveillance, plainclothes, you know, doing a lot of red teaming. Red teaming is like going through a compound and kind of work your way through it without being undetected, right? A little bit more specialized than the average patrol officer that's pulling you over for tinted windows. I think that's every day I go out there. It's not like a once a year thing, like New Year's resolution type thing. It's a everyday thing. Just like in the military, we had AARs, or after action reports, right? How do we get better? How do we be more effective as a unit, as a well-developed fighting force? That's how the Army would put it. A well-developed fighting force. How would we be that force, right? I think for me, it's an everyday thing. After the mission, we do that AAR. Like, hey, how do we get better? Or like, what improvements can we do as far as like tech goes, right? Or the way we did it, or just anything in general. Like how do we be better as far as like physical wise? Are we doing our martial arts? Are we lifting weights, doing our cardio, shooting, medical training? You know, Are we practicing our lock picking? You know, that sort of thing. And then the thing with the drones too, you know, that's the real hot topic now is drones, right? You see that a lot in Ukraine, down south in Mexico, and they're loading it up with payloads, right? Explosives. For us, you know, we're just using it as like ISR or something like recon type of stuff, you know, trying to get that. And it's always improving. So trying to stay a step ahead of that, you know. Like I've seen some stuff where it's like, I was thinking about like exoskeletons, right? If you've seen that, like, I don't know what company it is, but it's a Chinese company. They have exoskeletons for like hiking and stuff. Makes you faster, right? And I was like, well, maybe in the next few years, pick up an exoskeleton for $1,000. Now you see that on the streets with like, it looks like something out of Cyberpunk or something out of Blade Runner, right? And it's just stuff, kind of the R&D as well. I think trying to get a little bit more effective. But going back to what you said, it's like, when is that turning point? It's every day is the turning point. Every day is how do we get better?
Descending into chaos yesterday. Federal officers, including ICE agents, searching
Immigration and Customs Enforcement is looking for vendors trying to gauge interest on who is willing to help them tackle the volume of cases.
A lot of people think, oh, ICE is hiring bounty hunters to capture these people like off the street. And that is totally, if not just media trying to like have an agenda, right? Like we don't do that. We don't do that because ICE is only paying what, like $1,000 per head. Whereas like we're running with the bail bonds companies, all that stuff, it's a little bit more money than that, you know? So like would I spend 2 to 3 months tracking someone for less money than I'm already doing? Probably not. Probably not. So that's the misconception that the media has portrayed. It was like, oh, hey, there's bounty hunters catching, you know, illegal immigrants. It's like, no, that's their department. We don't do that. We have our own mission, and our mission is just solely that, bail bonds. So I think that's the misnomer, and I would like to clear that out too. It's like, hey, like, we don't do that stuff. A lot of us are immigrants as well, legal immigrants, but we believe in America, so that's one of those things, you know. And yeah, well, I just want to clear that up. Those fake bounty hunters, like it's a shame on the profession. It's kind of like a stain, you know, because they make bounty hunting seem so laissez-faire, right? Very cheap. But there's some people out there that really put in that work, time, effort, sweat, and they're not getting, you know, $1 million contracts because of that, you know, because they're on TV and all that stuff. For me, it's a shame that those fake bounty hunters are kind of like, hey, I'm a bounty hunter, you know, this and that, you know, rise to fame type of stuff. For me, like, I want my face censored, right? I don't want the fame because I'm still doing some stuff. But those guys who are out there kind of like getting money out of it, doing movie deals, like that's a shame because it's a lot of people put hard work and blood and sweat and tears into this game. And it's like, who are you to be like, hey, I'm a bounty hunter, but you're not really a bounty hunter, right? You're not putting in the work. It's like someone saying, it's like stolen valor, right? So, you know, in the military, right, there's guys who've done the military stuff, and then guys who just airsoft and put on the uniform. That's kind of how I feel. It's like that's stolen valor.
To the most advanced. In addition, specialized curriculum has been developed to meet training needs not generally available.
2.75.
This curriculum includes a semi-automatic pistol program.
And I brought this in pistol descriptions. We always show people how these work.
firearms instructor and refresher training programs, and tactics. Depending on the complexity of training, programs vary in length from weeks to months. Today, that emphasis is changing. While accuracy is certainly essential, delivering a shot first is paramount. Tactical speed shooting teaches both. An alternative method of firearms training, speed shooting is gaining recognition as the next logical step. The Tactical Firearms Speed Shooting Training Program was designed to teach this concept. Students learn to apply the fundamentals of marksmanship to a new level of speed without sacrificing tactical accuracy. The 2-week program uses the semi-automatic pistol, submachine gun, and a shotgun. Here, students learn the concepts of speed shooting, including speed reaction shooting from a variety of positions.
328 with a second shot.
While firing moving and other tactical maneuvers. For the ever-changing world of the law enforcement officer, training must be continuously upgraded and improved.
I think the biggest thing is the vest. The vest. You don't wanna catch a bullet because you're not wearing the vest. It's level 4 plates, right? Crye Precision JPC 2.0. We could go into detail with this thing. A lot of stuff too is breaching equipment, right? We have bolt cutters, sledgehammers. See it back here. A lot of the other stuff, medical. So stuff for like GSW, Halo Chistios, right? Needle Ds. We have C-locks right here. Especially for like hitting houses and stuff. The biggest thing is breaching equipment, gloves, medical. Medical is like the biggest one. Let's see, like we run smokes. I run smokes. Oh yeah, the gloves, the gloves thing is like a big one. Yeah, I got cut up on the hand, and yeah, wear your gloves. Wear your gloves if you're doing something. That is like lesson 1. I tried to be the cool guy with no gloves and messed up my hand, you know. Let's see, body cam for sure. Comms. So if you see up here, there's like comms up there. Running comms. That is like the bread and butter, you know. Drones is like I would say it's more of a recon thing, but it's definitely something to get a good picture of, right? Like you kind of want to see what's going on besides like Google Earth and all that. You want like live updates with that. Other stuff, chem lights. Chem lights are, civilians call it glow sticks, used for signaling, that sort of thing. Kevlar right there. But mainly, that's about it as far as like primaries go. Tasers, cuffs, you know, the usual. Sometimes we'll run Faraday bags. I run the Faraday bag because tracking capabilities nowadays. You know, a lot of tracking capabilities. So your phone, like right now, it's giving off some sort of signal, right? Faraday bags. Bad guys have phones. We have to take that, and we don't want to get we don't want to get ambushed, right? So our way of kind of doing that is using Faraday bags. Kind of like if you go to the movies, right? And they don't want you to see what's going on, those bright green, orange, or bags right there. They kill the signal. So those are pretty solid. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that can kind of talk about. But the main bread and butter, plates, medical, comms, and some sort of way to defend yourself, I think. Non-lethal and lethal. Very similar to, I wouldn't say SWAT, but like similar to like law enforcement. So this line of work, if you are interested, right, you do have to do a couple classes, couple certs, post 832 class, You got to do your pre-bail class. You got to be insured, right? The biggest thing though too is, sometimes not all the guys are military, but most of them, they are former veterans, and they share the same story, right? They're missing that purpose, and in a sense, we are still serving the community, just in different uniforms. Same circus, different clowns. I'll make that clear, like, bounty hunting is a profession that shouldn't be taken lightly. People have died for this, so please respect that. The biggest thing is just be a protector, not for yourself, but maybe for your family. Like, anyone could do it. It's just some people don't have the courage to protect their family or their friends or loved ones or girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you got. I feel like maybe this hopefully will inspire people to kind of like, hey, maybe I should go train. Maybe I should go hit the gym. Kind of have that mindset, like there's so many bad things happening in this world, a lot of active shooting, so kind of like brush up on maybe CPR, something basic just to kind of help someone out, because that could change a lot of situations, right? There's like an active shooter or something, CPR or like medical, that sort of thing. That's like the bare minimum, but that could get you out of there alive, right? And so I kind of want to leave it at that, where it's like the everyday citizen should be prepared for at least some sort of incident, right? So just train your medical, maybe hit the gym, lay off the donuts, and kind of just lean on to faith, and get right with God, because you don't know what's going to happen next day. And that's where I leave it.